Welcome back to Switch to Linux. So this is a very special episode today. Today I crossed 100 subscribers, which is not a lot on YouTube for a lot of the big channels, but it is a huge milestone because 3 months ago, 6 months ago, I want to say it was about 6 months ago or so, is when I got the idea of doing a channel on Switch to Linux. And it was actually about 3 months ago that the channel actually launched publicly. I spent about 3 months thinking about what I wanted to do, developing a little bit of a plan, putting together a website, and then recording some basic videos, some basic tips, tricks, and tutorials, which I might actually want to go back through and redo some of those now that I have a lot better equipment. Back in that day, I was not able to do things with quite as good of equipment. I've added things like a microphone, so I get much better audio now than I did with my old, I think I used this guy here, was one of my early headphones. Or one of my early mics. So it's just a $10 Skullcandy system, which actually worked pretty well. But nevertheless, I did want to get a professional microphone here. And actually, I have a stand for this on the way. So pretty soon, you'll actually have a lot better audio as I can talk directly into it without picking up some ambient office noise. So we're also working on increasing the quality. You know, I'm still going to be using the Logitech C920 camera to do the majority of my recording for now. Although I do want to get, I am working on a few different things. One thing that I'm going to be working on that I'm very excited about, I can't really pick it up right now. I'm working on building a new computer which is specifically dedicated to doing videos. The idea is with the new computer, I've already done some very early testing and I should be able to get actual recording at 1080p. Right now my videos are in HD. I'm upscaling them to 1080p, but I'm actually recording them in 720 as far as the camera is concerned. Screen share is 1080 working. So the computer I'm working on right now is a laptop Dell Inspiron. It is an iCore 5. I want to say it's a 4th or 5th generation. I can't remember, iCore 5. And I did put 8 gigs of RAM in here. I think this computer can take up to 16 if I remember, but I have 8 gigs in there and that's sufficient for me right now. What I am building is a beast that should be able to handle all the 1080p recording while running virtual machines, because I still do plan on doing a lot of distro reviews, and virtual boxes is a good way to do that. However, I also am putting in an IC dock in the front of this new computer build so that I can actually, if people, like if I run into a case like, what was the one I tried? I think it was Kioro the other day. I wanted to review the GNOME version. It won't work in a virtual box, and I cannot get any screen recorders to work on a live key. With that system, in theory, I should be able to actually install it on a replaceable drive, pop it into the computer, and actually do the video right there. I'm building extra data storage into the computer so that I can keep everything together like that. And overall, my goal here is to develop, build a computer that's not like super bleeding edge, but a computer that has enough power to run everything that I need to run and have another dedicated computer. Since the one I'm doing this on is a laptop, it does a great job. I have no doubt that the quality of the video is pretty good, but it is also a work computer. So I want to try and keep all of the video production stuff off of it because I am actually a web developer as a day job thing, and I want to make sure that my computer stays up to date with that. Also, with all these distros I've been downloading, man, even a 1 terabyte hard drive is getting filled up pretty quickly. But that's kind of it. So the couple things I want to talk about here today on this channel update, we did actually, because I crossed the 100 subscriber mark, I was able to claim my custom URL. So I grabbed Switched to Linux as my custom URL. So when that is properly propagated, youtube.com/c/switched to Linux. The S and the L are capitalized, and that should take you right to the channel directly. So that's a great new thing. Also, I wanted to mention, mostly for a historical record, if I'm looking down the road, at this time, the 3 most popular videos, and I forgot to get the numbers. Let me grab the numbers. All right. Pull up KDE here. My top 3 videos right now, as I'm doing this recording, is my OpenSUSE Tumbleweed Overview. So my OpenSUSE Tumbleweed Overview has 2,632 views. My second most popular video is the Ubuntu 17.04 with Unity 8. Will they be ready for an April release? That is a deeply controversial video. I realize that. And that's kind of cool. I love the discussion that's been going back and forth. Some people agree with me. Some people don't agree with me. There's a lot of people talking about a whole lot of things back and forth. Understand, I do not dislike Ubuntu. I love the system. I use a lot of Ubuntu computers. That was just a commentary as to Unity 8's just not quite there yet. That, as of right now, has 1,662 views. That is, though, my fastest growing video. I put that up only about a week ago, and it has already claimed only 1,000 views, slightly less than 1,000 views, less than my #1 video. So that's going to take over first place within a week or two, I think. The third highest video right now is Pros and Cons of Elementary OS, a brief distro review. That has 502 views as of right now. And that distro is a fascinating distro. It's not one that I'm about to use on any regular basis, simply because it just has the feel like the Mac, and it's just not a system I'm quite as proficient on. However, that being said, it is a great distro. It really is a great distro. Really good for people with families, because you can do a lot of integrated parental controls, and also it is a great computer for people who need to do some web browsing, who need to do just some basic computer stuff, particularly dealing with the media, but not much else. Elementary is great for that. It just isn't my taste of an operating system, but it is a great distro. Has, of course, the Pantheon desktop is their own homebrewed desktop system with some integrated apps. And you can check out those 3 videos are my top videos. So things coming up on the channel. What types of things do you anticipate seeing in the future? Well, definitely more distro reviews. People seem to like the distro reviews. I like doing them because I very well may encounter some distros that I never knew about but are really cool. Like, what is it, Matira something, Matta something, I totally forget what it is. That was the distro that you can theme up like Windows. That was just a really cool distro based on Linux Mint. Love that thing. I never would have known about that if I wasn't looking into distro reviews. I've already talked about this new computer I'm building. So with that new computer, let me know what you think. I'm still debating which operating system I'm going to put in there. I'm leaning towards Debian Wheezy. I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm not totally sure. I'm thinking I either want to run the KDE desktop, which this is running, which I think is just a sweet desktop, or the Cinnamon desktop, which is the type of system that I am absolutely most familiar with and absolutely like the most. I'm thinking, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Now, the disadvantage of running the Debian Jessie, because it is the most stable Debian right now, is the Plasma. The KDE version is not quite where I want. I like this version of Plasma. This is an awesome version, and the Plasma KDE is sweet. And I want to be able to have this type of platform. I have a live key laying around here somewhere. I think that this live key has the Debian Jessie on it. I've been playing with it a little bit to see if it's indeed what I want to run. Let me know what you think. I'm looking for a distro that can... first, I have an AMD graphics card, which is not the greatest graphics card, but it does take my video off of the integrated video card. So I'm running that. I just want to make sure that, I'm not running the most bleeding edge hardware in this computer, so it's not like I have to have something like Arch. I want something that is deeply stable and something that's not going to have a problem with all the different editors I need to run. For example, I'm using Kdenlive as my video editor right now, with OpenShot as a backup video editor. And I did switch that, by the way. I started, most of my videos are edited on OpenShot. Right now I'm using Kdenlive. Once I used that for the email I had, where the video I had where I was opening up email in Windows 10, spam email links, and I wanted to edit out some things, contents of emails. That's when I started using Kdenlive, because I had the ability to blur over a time frame. Love that idea. That's when I started using Kdenlive. So other things coming up. I am still working on developing the curriculum for a privacy course, and I would really like the community input. What types of things do I put on a privacy type course? We're going to talk about internet security, social media security, and privacy, and basically just thinking a little bit about what you're doing. If you want to get an idea of where my mindset is on a lot of those things, check out my Tinfoil Hat Time series. Definitely not my most popular series on this channel, but definitely my favorite. So have a look at that. And if you have not watched one of those Tinfoil Hat Time episodes, go check those out. They're not quite as much about Linux as they are about privacy, but that's kind of where I'm at. Some other things I'm going to be talking about in the near future is some more practical Linux. One of the videos coming up here soon, I've been debating about putting Peppermint OS on a netbook computer while maintaining the Windows partition. And that's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but I'm thinking I'm going to want to try to do that. As a video. We're also going to be talking about media centers. I run OpenELEC for a home and office media center, and if I happen to be on the road and need a media center, I can build a open source media center on a Raspberry Pi. We're going to also be talking about VPNs on a Raspberry Pi and other fun applications you might have for such a Pi. The other things I want to talk about is how to build a NAS drive. You can go out to the store and purchase a NAS drive for your in-home backup data, but they can be pretty expensive, or maybe you want something a little bit more novel. So I actually have a microcomputer that I disabled the DVD-ROM in it, and I instead replaced that with two internal 1 terabyte hard drives that are a RAID 0, so they're a duplicate of each other. And then actually with that, I also have the ability to plug in an external hard drive here, plug this right in. As soon as I plug it in, it makes a backup between those drives and this. It syncs all the data, so I can have a portable copy of everything on my NAS drive as well. So we're going to talk about how to do some of that stuff. And of course, we're going to be doing a little bit more news commentary and things like that. So those are the things that we have looking forward to in this channel. Again, we hit 100 subs today, and I've thanked the community for that. And I've been really having a great time talking with everybody, interacting in the community and having the questions and having the dialogue. And I have learned a lot in this last few months, and I hope that you have as well. And I just have to say, thanks for supporting this channel. Thanks for coming and taking a look at the videos. And from there, I just hope to keep on bringing some great things. Keep any suggestions coming as well. I try and read all the comments. I try and comment on all the comments that I can. It's getting to the point now where there's enough comments that I can still keep up with them. There will come a point in time when I just can't. Also, I didn't mention that. I forgot to put it on my list here of things to talk about. I am still thinking about doing some live streaming. Let me know what you think about live streaming, and let me also know what types of topics. I'm thinking a general live stream format. I could pick out 3 or 4 Linux articles throughout the week, talk about those, do a random distro that I've never seen, boot it right up into a virtual drive just to see how it works, how it looks, a true first impression. And anything else. Maybe I'll even throw on my tinfoil hat on a live section just for a small clip of time. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested in the community's ideas here. I'm really interested in growing out this channel. So we are interested in tech. We are interested in Linux. And also, if you do not know, I'm also a web developer. So let me know if you need to know things like that as well. Tips, tricks about web design development. So anyway, this has been Tom at Switch to Linux. I thank everybody for their support. This is 100 subscribers, and let's see when we can hit 1,000. I think that'd be a great next goal. So this has been Tom, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.